that crazy? Or does the color look very different on this WoW than this WoW? Kinda hurts my eyes to play my main account, but on this account it's fine. Almost like the contrast is like whack on the other one. That translates to stream. Maybe if I go to a different area. Maybe it's like a weather thing, randomly on one phase versus another phase. Yeah, this is more similar. I guess it was like a weather thing with the phase. Yep, yeah. Tutorial. Crazy that Boomy got such a small nerf. DH got a small nerf, and then the Outlaw got like the biggest nerf. Like it actually changed your build and your rotation. I'm gonna try some more Greenskin. I know people were playing it a little bit last season. Means I kind of want lethality again, though. How do I afford lethality? Did I drop recuperator? No, I can't even do that. I think acrobatic strikes is really important too. And I can't really drop 7 combo points. Do I drop energy? Do that. Seems bad. Outlaw Affliction? Nah, we can play Sub Affliction if you want though, but I don't know, Outlaw's not gonna feel fluid at all anymore. Like it already kind of just felt bugged that you could spam between the eyes anyway. Because like when you think about it, an ace proc is supposed to be a 35% chance. But sometimes this would just proc 5 times in a row. And there's no way you get a 35% chance 5 times in a row. Like it's always felt kind of buggy. But yeah. Now even if you get a proc, you don't get enough combo points. Like it's not probably worth to do a 4-point BTE if you get a proc. So like chain procs together are kind of bad. Do you have to like build every other global you get a proc now? Which doesn't seem that global efficient for not leaving a gap in your stunts. I mean, I think you still play 1 or 200 energy and acrobatic. I don't think lethality is worth it, even though that's 20% more greenskin damage. Could play Kata? Yeah. There's just not much point playing the beta, it's too buggy. Trying to find something to do though, because I haven't been in the viewer 2Z mood that much. I want to try playing greenskin, but honestly, I don't think 20% damage isn't enough worth it. Crazy as that is. Even if you're playing Greenskin, I think you can't afford lethality. Energy and acrobatic is just way too important to not feeling clunky. This Greenskin, you do a big pistol shot after between the eyes. I don't know if I want to test Greenskin yet though, until I have 4-piece. I think I feel missing count the odds way too much until I have 4-piece. Maybe I test it tomorrow. I don't want to test it right now, just kind of see how it feels, but I think it won't be an accurate test. I'm just going to be gimping myself. I mean, I guess lately I've been playing more Spree anyways instead of count the odds. I don't know. Happy with the tuning? No. It's some of the most biased, awful tuning I've seen. Affliction did not need a buff at all. And then DH is basically unchanged, even though it's 20 million ahead of every other DPS in long dampening games. And then Outlaw got a pretty crippling nerf that's going to change its entire rotation. And then Asa got like a 12% burst nerf. They compensated it by giving them a little more sustain on Kingsbane and then like nerfing Garrote. But I mean, Asa wasn't even close to top damage either. Unless like you got the fattest Crimson Tempest spam on 3 different people the entire game. But sub isn't viable. So I mean the answer is just play Windwalker, I guess. Just better. But I think it's probably still a Outlaw angle because it's like less counterable than Asa. And you just maybe play Greenskin. I don't think sub is viable. And just because they nerf the other 2 specs doesn't mean sub will get any better. Sub is like half the damage of any spec in the game. It's just funny because Outlaw also was not really competing with people on damage either. And it got a way bigger nerf than DH that does 2.5 times its damage. Just weird how much of a slap on the wrist DH Boomy got. And Affliction just gets buffed every single patch for no reason. It's weird. Because even the PvE changes for Affliction are going through to PvP. Because they didn't specify otherwise. The PvP changes are just separate than the tier fix, and that is just a flat Garrote nerf, which is like your entire damage basically is Garrote. And then they're just nerfing the Kingsbane one-shots. Still trying to find games real quick. Yeah, they're nerfing outlaw damage even more, which is crazy. Guess I'll do a couple viewer twos if it's like a higher viewer, like 2K. Because I'm like 2-4 MMR right now. They're buffing the tier set that does literally nothing. The tier set doesn't matter. They're nerfing the free crit that they get for their whole team from 12% free crit to 6%. And that's it. So, you know, their teammates are going to have 6% less spell crit. You know, oh no, that doesn't affect Rogue Boomy at all. It's like, okay, a DH with 6% less crit, you know, it's not going to really change anything. It maybe changes how Resto Shaman gets, like, mana refunds on crits, but for the most part, they're still going to have its absurdly high crit. It does literally nothing. They didn't target Fast Clone with, like, Alkin Frenzy. They didn't target clone duration itself. They didn't target how immortal they are by like nerfing frenzied regen or something. So Boomy is still the best class in the game by a mile. It got like a basically like 1% nerf in my eyes, less than that. Like honestly, people won't even tell the difference when they log in. We can do a few and see. Force that huge? It's pretty good, yeah. I'm gonna be trying a different build, so these games might be kind of clunky, but. Playing crack shot. Better. Right now I'm playing the non-spam BTE build, just trying to test it for the nerfs. So these games are gonna look a little weird. The nerfs are tomorrow. I'm just dead. I'll be rapid fire in a sec. Get behind the aim shot so it doesn't go off. Away from the flare. Kill this trash. You can use check PvP or Ceramate or just like people's armories in general. Yeah, Murloc's another one of the PvP sites too. I mean, DH got the most minor nerf too, like completely untouched. Same with Boomy. Like, Boomies are acting like losing 6% crit on their team matters that much. Maybe it matters a little bit for our Shaman Mana Restore, but most times it's like Boomy Dragon anyway. But, yeah, and it sucks because, like, Asa and Outlaw will still, even if you nerf them by, like, half, they would still be better than Sub. Because Sub is, like, literally F tier non-viable. So I guess it's just like they want, instead of having, like, 2 A or S tier specs and an F tier spec, they just want to have, like, 2 B tiers and an F tier. So there's not going to be like a good rogue spec. It'll be like one of the only bad classes as a whole that don't have a good spec. Just funny because DH already does double fucking Assa's damage and Outlaw's damage. Sometimes even 2.5 times. Okay, my DH is ready. I capped it last night. I've just been waiting for Kata though, either way. Like, I'll play the end of the season, and I'll still play RMP to rank 1. Even if my class is like a fraction of every other class. Just sucks that even RMP is a boring PV comp. Like, every comp you're just a support bot that like wants a Boomy or a mage to carry you. Like, if they're gonna nerf Elsa and Outlaw this much, at least fucking buff Sub. Even if it's like 10%. I mean, a third of every spec is fake damage. But fake damage can still kind of be real in terms of taxing healer mana. The whole game is fake damage because every game is decided by mana. Hey, maybe you could just play a NASA build where you don't even play Kingsbane again. Like, there already was a non-Kingsbane build. 10% growth isn't that big of a deal. Four Poison's probably not. AoE Shiv's too good. It would just be kind of like moving, being able to drop lethality and maybe go back to 7 combo points. And then staying AoE Garrote and yeah, it's mostly just dropping lethality, even though that nerfs Garrote even more, but you do what you gotta do. am I dying to, man? I could have stabbed Priest there if I melded.
You'll not snatch out.
You're doing good. This is so much less cooldown reduction with this build, is insane. I think it's still probably better to play Crackshot and just build up if you get a proc. And just accept you don't get chain procs anymore. I don't know if this is better. It feels kind of shit. I don't know, maybe Outlaw will just feel shit in general after the nerf. I don't know. Tried to dance sap there, but decided he wanted to stay combat. Unlucky. Even though he had no Shadow Fiend out. Step behind the aim shot so it doesn't go off. I don't want to disarm non-true shot here. Gonna vanish this aim shot, grapple away from the flare. Might be dead before I get the disarm off. Patient since I'm dying behind pillar to just death chakra him. Finish grapple away. I have it 5. Dead. Yeah, I don't think Outlaw will be. I don't think this build will be any better. Outlaw dead? I mean, it's the nerfs tomorrow, not today, but yeah, Greenskin doesn't feel better. Or like equal at all. Time to just play a normal game and win. Now I'm immortal again. Yeah, growth doesn't matter that much. It's a nerf though. None of the rogue specs. Just play Windwalker or DH and do twice as much damage. Asa is now B tier instead of S tier, and Outlaw is now A or B instead of S. And Sub is like F, maybe D if you just really hate Sub Rogues and you're like 1500. But in general, if you just play Windwalker or DH, you will have twice the results. Unless you're like an AWC level Outlaw with like perfect teammates and you're playing it in specific matchups. But there's no point in like willingly opting into having counterplay if you're just gonna do half the damage of every other spec. And have everyone break your CCs, and have longer CDs on some of your CCs, and have everyone waste your DRs, and have everyone tab perma dot healers so you can't gouge. I mean, without lethality, my best green skin in that game was 117k. That's pretty terrible. I mean, maybe Hunter's Ross the whole game, but I think with lethality, 20% more. I don't think green skin's ever worth it. I think you still play Crackshot, and you just don't double proc back to back anymore. You actually just do an ambush and then build. Because you just lose so much cooldown reduction, not playing green skin. The problem is when you get a proc, it's only 4 combo points now. It's not really the proc chance. Because the proc chance always just felt bugged. Because you would just get like 3 or 4 procs in a row at 35% chance. That's like really, really crazy odds. But that would consistently happen. Like the proc rate always just felt bugged. What do you think of the Boomkin buffs? I mean, the tier set change is non-existent. It's still a nerf to lose 6% spell crit for your team. But Boomkins are being way over dramatic that it's literally nothing. The tier set does nothing. They're basically breaking even. 6% spell crit is not going to make Shaman never crit and get the mana refund, and it's not going to make DH never crit. Like, people already have really high base crit. Especially if they go around trying to avoid 30-second, you know, stat DR, or they put on their tier set or something. You gonna play Kata? Yeah, I'm gonna main Kata. I have no faith in War Within. I mean, I don't care about assets, my least favorite spec. But I hate that the Outlaw nerf changes its rotation. Like when Outlaw was already like nowhere near Windwalker or DH, like not even on the same planet. Just because a lot of the AWC players play it does not mean that it's like taking over the ladder. It has like 3% representation. It's just funny that it gets like twice the nerf. More than twice the nerf that a Demon Hunter got, when DH is like literally 2.5 times my damage. Like, here's my problems with War Within, right? There's this gem that lowers damage taken in setups in CC in general. Basically the BFA experiment again of conflict and strife. But you have to pick it versus precog, I guess. It's like an embellishment. But that's terrible for the game. And then on top of that, hero talents just look awful. 2 out of 3 of the rogue trees are just random proc weak aura garbage that you have to try to pad. And then on top of that, a majority of classes are getting more random pets all over the screen for no reason, which there's already too much clutter. Like mages are gonna have, like fire mage has like these phoenixes that attack people, and Boomkins are getting trends back out all over the place, and it's just like, ugh. They're just doubling down on everything I hate. So it's just like, I want CC to matter. I want it to be an interactive game. And it doesn't seem like War Within's gonna be that. I'll like give it a fair shot for like a week or something, but it doesn't seem fun. Yeah, I think the people that say Kata won't do well because Wrath didn't do well are underestimating how much worse retail is now than how bad retail was a year ago. And on top of that, just what the landscape of War Within looks like for the future. And the fact that Kata has a little bit less PvE than Wrath. And how much the average player hates PvE, or PvP. Like the average PvPer hates PvE, I mean. So I think Kata is set up to just replace retail. I don't think that many people have any faith in War Within. I'm just playing a real build this game instead of playing Greenskin. Tried to evasion the leg sweep there, but I didn't get it. I should not have did that vanish. I had 3 seconds with subterfuge left. My brain was like still in greenskin mode of like subterfuge doesn't matter. Couldn't kidney the druid there somehow, even though I was in range. Just killed this guy from complete range. I was almost a hunter there for a sec. Somehow I put between the eyes on CD. Try to evasion DR bash. I think Mop Rogue is more fun than Kata Rogue, because Kata Rogue's a little too easy. No, it does work for Vanish. I think I just dragged it off my bar when I was playing Greenskin. No, because it was a different build. It's just sometimes it bar lags. Because normal between the eyes is on the bar for this spec, not this one. Different specs at different bars. It's just like there's a little bit of brain lag for like a quarter of a second with the game when you're like leaving dance and it thinks you're still in dance and then it casts it anyway. You have to like really watch your dance and subterfuge to like not press it as your dance is ending sometimes. Also, meld doesn't play nicely with it. Like doing between the eyes for meld will also bug out a lot. You don't like actually full on get a re and proc subterfuge. Like if I meld between the eyes right here. It went on CD even though I stealthed and had subterfuge. Let's just like meld not playing nicely with it until you like actually triple down confirm you're in subterfuge. Or you have to like do a cheap shatter strike first or something. How do you feel to change it? I think they're really, really, really bad. A drunken kid on Take Your Kid to Work Day throwing darts backwards at balloons that have the changes in them would be more accurate. It's like actually insane, like criminally insane, how slap on a wrist they keep giving DH and Moonkin. It's been like game breaking for like over a year now. And how Affliction just gets a buff every single patch. It's fucking weird. Afflictions get buffed more often than Shadowlands Warriors. Like, that blows my mind. Poor WizK though. If all the warriors come back out, he's never gonna have fun again. My condolences. Rip RPS. They're gonna have to RMP only cup 2. For some reason I thought this app was still full. Just GR blinding to make sure I got this app. If we play well around Fierce though, my blind doesn't really matter that much. We get Fierce on GR. I mean, I guess it would be nice to be able to fear Windwalker on Serenity. Holy word. Like there, my between the eyes went off. Even though I pressed it in subterfuge with the stance macro when it shouldn't have. It's just bar lag. So you have to just be mindful. You can't like press it at the last half a second sometimes. Lag will just screw you over and put it on CD. They're gonna Serenity soon. Fine, now that they feared me, they're gonna pop. Gouge the Holy Ward off in case I need to CC it. A little scary now because they're both on DR. Guy Trinket's a DR blind. I think we're still dead. I think we just shouldn't have feared him. He wasn't like actually committed on anything yet. I just need to be able to blind the Serenity defensively sometimes like that. Yeah, I mean, it's just like my playstyle hasn't been good for a long time. The devs really hate playing to win and playing aggro and doing anything besides staring at detail and drooling. They just want everyone to be some stupid Ellie Shaman Death Knight bot. That's like, look, I did 110k DPS. Like that's just all they want the game to be. I'm tired of playing Mythic Keys in my arena, man. I want positioning and CC and interrupts to matter. But that's like a crime, I guess. All that matters is uptime and mana bars. I mean, literally, like when I was commentating AWC, a lot of it, like I wouldn't talk. I was just like going full Val yap mode, chatting about random things until like 20% down. And even the commentators do that shit sometimes too, like the actual real ones too, where it's just like, now that's happening. It's like really rare that like maybe a Windwalker can like accidentally one-shot someone through a defensive. Like, I mean, in general, dampening is just a failed design of a tiebreaker too. Like, as bad as boxing with just people damping and, you know, going for hits. My favorite one was, there was like a game I was watching, I forget what teams it was, but then Rookie was like, this is gonna be a fast game, and it was like 7.5 minutes in. Game's going faster than usual. Because most of the games were like 9 minutes to like 10.5. I think dampening started in like MOP. Can't get double leg swept, so. This is DR for me. I think we're just dead. Unlucky. I don't know why Serenity doesn't properly track. Is that like not the right spell ID? I mean, I think Outlaw NASA needed something. But yeah, it's just dumb that they don't focus on buffing things rather than nerfing things. Like, the game is already way too slow paced and boring. They should have just buffed a bunch of things like Subrug and a few other classes. Like, the game is just way too slow paced. One 5-2. That's the right spell ID. I don't know why Serenity doesn't always track right. Nah, I didn't really push in any of Classic. But if you have the mounts, they'll push over. Like, I have my Vlad mounts, I guess. I shouldn't really push in many. I only pushed in like 2 of the seasons. Season 5 and Season 1. Both times I was like, okay, I did too much PvE, never again. But Kata isn't as much PvE because you have Reforging and the off pieces are viable. And only the last season you have to get trinkets and that's it. But you can wear PvP rings and PvP necklaces and PvP belts and capes. Great. No, I only pushed like Glad on those seasons. I didn't even try to go for rank 1. I never got PvE Abyss and I just didn't have people to play with. And I just did not want to do politics and shit. I despise PvE. Like, it literally, I would rather like watch paint dry. Who's better, Waz or Pika? Probably Waz. EU in general is better. I don't know why I'm lagged out. I'll just reopen the game since it's frozen. Boomy Windwalker now? Nah, it'll still be DH Windwalker. DH didn't get nerfed at all, really. Boomy nerf is such a small slap on the wrist, it does not matter. I think the very few rogues you see, though, will be playing more DH. Except for maybe Pika. But I think if Warriors get popular, Wiz is going to be playing a lot more other classes. I just can't wait to get Foresight on my Windwalker tomorrow. And then I just... Nah, Season 8's already over. We've been in Kata pre-patch for a couple weeks now, haven't we? I feel like the season even ended before the pre-patch randomly. Like the season ended in like early April or something. And even then, I would have to have all the PV gear in the world to push. And there was only like 20 rank 1 spots, and it was just all the same private server Europeans on their ults. There's a couple people trying to play double melee on NA. A few people tried to bring out Rogue Windwalker and Rogue DH and Rogue DK on NA. It's just no one actually put in the time to like truly play it as a setup. They just only want to Zug with it and hold W. But there was a lot of double melee on NA. I don't know. EU in general is just, it should be a better region than NA. I have to answer a phone call, 1 second. Sorry about that. I had like a medical related call. I had to double check something on. How you doing, Bamba? Thank you for the... Back in line for a sec. Farm some CDR on the pet. A little bit. Might sap that if I'm lucky. Never lucky. And the Tyrant, even though it doesn't actually cast that much. Link stream, I guess. Fair. Got the Shaman's Trinket with that go. Nothing really to stop the Aura Mastery heals, but it could be okay. Just vanish. Gonna get a Hex out of that, but at least he misses the Static Totem. I'm in a clean re. Done both. I'll drop that hopefully. JK get coiled. I'm out of line of the Angel because of all this. Better grapple back to it. I mean, it's literally in the changes. That has all the changes in it. Thank you, 3s later, man. Get someone new in. GG's. Hopefully I can get some 3s in a couple hours or something. I'm just gonna do some Rogue Priest 2s with Nick, actually. You have a life purpose? Yeah, to stream right now. keyboard do you have? It's a Wooting 60 HE, but I'm gonna get the 80 when it comes out in a couple months. I have it pre-ordered. No changes for sub? Nah, sub is not viable. Weird, I touch plenty of grass living with my girlfriend. We actually go out at least once a week. Probably touch more grass than you do. And probably have more hobbies. I wish I could play drums again, but there's no way with apartment living. I don't have room for a kit and it'd be too noisy. And even if I wanted to get like an electronic kit, it just wouldn't fit in our apartment. We're already using all of the space. We still haven't unboxed everything a year later almost. We moved in August to like the newer apartment. And yeah, we have no space. Like we still haven't even unboxed everything because we have nowhere to reshuffle things around. Even with a lot of like bookcases and stuff and just like kind of aerial space. I mean, our shittier place for the similar size was still almost 1,500. Arizona is pretty expensive. I mean, the whole country is expensive unless you're in like Iowa or Ohio or some shit. Oh, it's way over 2K with bills. Especially in the summer when AC is way more, when it's 120 degrees. The power bill like doubles 2.5 times. Just having the windows open at night in the winter, like maybe you can get away with like less than $100 on power. I was testing Greenskin and it felt terrible. I stopped playing it within like 3 games. Arizona. I make less than what my rent is though alone, because our rent is like 1,700, and I make like 1,500 a month usually. And that 17 is before bills, like water, power, internet, phone, food. But my share of what I just send my girlfriend every month is like, I just send her like 1,200 a month for my share. But we're pretty much paycheck to paycheck, so. Think of the outlaw nerfs. It's pretty dumb. It got a way heavier nerf than DH and Moonkin got, and those specs are like 10x what Outlaw's at right now. Same with Windwalker. I mean, people get 4 sets tomorrow at least, but yeah. The nerfs come in at the same time that everyone gets 4 set. Whew. Yeah, I would gladly leave NA if it wasn't for my family and stuff. Norse death metal band. I mean, I've been enjoying and growing it out. I turn the table and I get more damage when I get axe toss. Hold the procs. dying here. So cozy, yeah, I mean, we're just all chilling, you know? 61 damp, yeah. That was a quick game, too. Could have been way more damp than that. I mean, compared to what I'm used to now, that was just 5 minutes. You know, that wasn't a 10-minute game because 2 says quicker dampening. Oh, I definitely rage and flame sometimes, but yeah. That's more at the game rather than at people, unless it's like someone omega griefing me in a shuffle. If it's just like blatant win trading or something. I go to the gym sometimes, but yeah. I'm not trying to get like swole though. That's pointless. My blood pressure's been like higher than normal because my girlfriend's food is too good. I've like just been trying to do like basic stuff. switch to Veil. Usually I'm always like 120 over like 60 or whatever, like the perfect blood pressure. But now I'm like perma 134. So it's like, food might be a little too rich. Or it's just something else, I don't know. Or it might be stress, I don't know. I'm pretty stressed lately. Like a lot of IRL stuff. I think it's just stress and eating richer food. I've gained a lot of weight the last like year and a half. I'm like 160 pounds now. I used to be like 130. I've gained a lot of weight compared to what I used to have, so. I was like over 170 at one point, but I haven't been eating as much lately, but. Nah, this is Nick. He just always has like troll names. It's like Robin and Kearney have beef. I mean, I'm not ribcage anymore. I'm actually kind of skinny fat. Even though I'm still like maybe 10 to 15 pounds underweight for my height at 6'2", but I think a healthy weight for 6'2" is about, no, I'm about 10 pounds underweight. It's about 170 to 210. £10 is not that big of a deal. Take a while. I mean, I've been enjoying Feral. My Demon Hunter is going to be ready tomorrow too. I already played a lot of DH last season. Feral is the only new ult for me this season, but I'm playing a lot of Windwalker and Feral. And DH. Might play some Holy Priest for instant Qs. My only gripe with Holy Priest is like I've been wanting to heal this whole expansion for instant Qs occasionally, but my binds aren't set up for it, and there's only a couple weeks till Kata. So it just seems like a waste. I don't think I'm gonna play that much retail after Kata. Unless it's like there's downtime and I don't have people on to play Kata with, and I don't have my ults yet for viewer 2s on Kata. And it's like I'm queuing shuffle while I do some PvE chore thing I don't want to do on Kata, but I don't know how I came out of stealth, but okay. This is my priest last game though, and then I'll mix it up. Tried to step eat the trap, but I couldn't. I'll give a sap. Half sap. Take that. For kidney. Rogue or Druid, what do you mean? For like Kata or retail or for what? Oh, to get you in? Probably play your Druid if it's resto. Definitely don't want to do double Rogue. And Holy Pellies are boring to play with too. I don't know how much viewer twos I want to do. I kind of want to just hopefully find threes after a couple shuffles. Oh, you're an HPAL for my Rogue or Druid. Thing is, if I play my Druid, then I can't get a shuffle pop on my Druid, because it'll like keep pausing the shuffle queue. I don't really want to do Rogue HPAL. I'll get this guy 2-1 real quick. I mean, viewer twos is just less fun when double DPS is shit. As the meta just continues to get worse and worse and more PvE, it's like not fun. I'm also just more excited for Kata. Kind of like a light at the end of the tunnel that makes like twos even more boring. And I also just don't want to build a bunch of bad habits for AWC. Like viewer twos just fries my brain. Because it makes me want to just hard carry too much against, and good players you can't actually do stuff. You have to just be boring yourself and pure PV and not really. Like, smurfing on people that have no idea what's going on just gives you bad habits because it makes you think you can actually play the video game, and that's like not the way the game's meant to be played at like a high level. Because nobody ever takes risks or does anything. The offline qualifiers are Wednesday, and then Saturday, Sunday will be like the finals again. And then if we get top 6, we can make the gauntlet. And then that'll be the week after, same thing. Or the gauntlet will be Friday or whatever. Add-ons are very, very important, yeah. Otherwise you'll have no idea what's going on. It makes the game a lot more scripted and make more sense. Gauntlet 17th? Yeah. I was just looking at the wrong order of the weeks. Yeah, this is Cup 2, this is Gauntlet, and then this is the actual finals. And then Kata comes out right after the actual finals. And then it's probably one boring week of leveling. And then we'll probably have Arena, maybe, hopefully. Debating if I want to level a Feral also on Kata. If I want to do 2 Rogues and a Feral or not. Kata Feral is pretty fun. Easy to find partners in Kata? I mean, not really. I mean, level me a mage? It's so much leveling, man. I want to level a warlock too, but I don't know if I can do that much leveling. I just don't like debuffs on the nameplate because I just look at the target and focus frames for debuffs. I don't know if that's worth it. I'd rather level for 1 week than be tied down to having to help people. Cause it's not like there's arena the first week anyway. I don't know if we need a triple DR clone. At least they're wasting all their CCs before I actually go. Oh, Monk was out of combat there for a second. I could have maybe said. Or actually, I know we've been winning all game. We just needs to play more for mana. He's cloning way too much. Then we got Harbor. Thank you so much for the 5-month resub. Yeah, my guy's cloning way too much. We should not be losing on mana when I'm like... Crazy is this male Night Elf Hunter didn't do his rotation right at all, and I played my rotation almost perfectly, and I was only 3 million ahead of him. And I had really good RNG with procs too. Viewer 2s being viewer 2s, you know, but he just needs to play more for mana. Maybe some gems and enchants would help too. He does, I think. I saw what you said, Emergence. I don't know, man. The devs are just blind. Probably only do like 1 or 2. I thought this guy would be like free 2-1 in like a couple games, but... Gotta have a lot better mana and stuff. That's all that matters in this game. They're not that expensive. Not really, because I'm the only melee on our team. And Wizard Cleaves aren't that great. It does suck that Rogue is not like fun to play though. I think I just throw my DH or Windwalker in the deep end or something. Or just play Sub Rogue for fun. And we just don't make Gauntlet. don't like doing a DR cheap shot here, but I also need to interrupt the clone really bad. My druid apparently is playing kick and he gave him precog. Turn to give precog. Can't gouge this clone because he has Adaptive Storm on him. I'll just grapple and run from it. Adrenaline Rush kind of soon, but game is not going to start for a little bit more damp. We're only at 50% dampening. Game hasn't started yet. His Incarn in 10 seconds. Cloaking non-incarn just to not get cloned kind of sucks. Get bash cloned anyway. Actually, just goes with it. Yeah, even if we win this game, this is probably my last one with Drew. Not a fun matchup. I'll wait for 70% dampening every single game. It's only fun to play with a priest or a dragon or something that does damage with you. Way too damp. I'm also hitting one of the most immortal specs in the game too. Like I need like 80% dampening to kill this guy. But I'd probably die here because we're in. Mana bars are all that matters, and they're at 86% mana. Even though we're even on damage. Gonna get soloed by the healer. Don't know why they're breaking my CC. Trying to peel the Boomy until stun DRs come back up. Otherwise we're dead. Shouldn't have won that. Yeah, I mean we were losing all game. Orb Druid is way too boring. But our mana should be way better and we should be getting drinks, but... I got a shuffle actually. I got you after Bodhi. You want to do some roguelock? But I'm gonna do this shuffle first, hopefully. Most of 2-1. I'm down later in the week or something. Druids are really boring though to play with. That's like all the. Does no damage. Getting all the kicks out of the way for them. Maybe this Warlock will fear one time. I changed my kick keybind, so I came out of stealth on accident. I inverted clone in kick. Boomies and DHs barely got nerfed at all. Rogue got a huge nerf for no reason, even though it already isn't good. And then Windwalker got untouched as well. And Affliction got a massive buff for no reason. So yeah. At least I got all the CSs and everything out of the way. Okay. This is pet like glitching out. Looks so weird. I should not have skinned that. But I flame every druid for skinning. Like. They had 1 second left on DR. We didn't waste that stun DR, but that's fine. Need max mastery? Nah. Oh damn it. Keep forgetting I flipped my kick and cyclone binds. I just like kicked the rogue on accident trying to clone him. It's gonna take me a while to get used to that one. Is the trigger to that? Nah, he's just bad. It's like really low. It's like my placements. I haven't played that many games with Feral yet. That's why funny. Like low rating is kind of hilarious. The egos of people now. The Wario's like shit talking me. It's hilarious. Trinket reflect. I'm just gonna BM trinket as well. Fake his kick. Killing the guy through swap. That guy. Rest in peace to 6-0. Unlucky. Like I just was not doing his basic HPS rotation at all. I think he just used too many CDs on me even though I'm immortal. Should be like winning the opener every single round though. That rating. Alright, you on Bodhi? We can do some roguelock. there's anything I learned from struggling on DH and Shuffle in Season 3, it's that don't try to put any logic to the class. That's the advice I'll give you. If you try to make sure you always get like Essence Break and I-Beam off together and you line all your CDs up and you're like, okay, I want to get the Inner Demon proc off with the I-Beam Essence Break into a meta another Inner Demon proc. If you try to like actually make it a burst window, it'll never line up and you'll just get peeled. Just send your Essence Breaks and your I-Beams on cooldown no matter what. Even if you're like not in meta or just play like dog shit and you'll do more damage. Also, keep in mind you really need the tier set because then you never have to throw glaive ever because then Death Sweep will just put up the dot for you. And also don't get too thinking you're cool about doing good backflips and immuning CC because backflip is an important part of your energy regen. So like do like a backflip and then re-Fell Blade back to the target instantly. But like just full energy up. And then make sure you're switching your talents around between like the Cyclone version of Imprison and the Honor talent Dispel. And like the Immolate Aura Dispel is really good for like getting yourself out of like Novas and Roots and stuff. Or just like screwing over Ellie Shamans by like constantly removing Flame Shock. Would you recommend playing Rogue? No. It's not fun. Yeah, we're playing sub F. Alright, take another shuffle. I want to do some rogue block. Somehow I got combat back off literally air. With no Shadow Fiend out. I still kill anyway. Yeah, we won. Yeah, I have 2 WoW subscriptions, so I can like dual box shuffle queue while I do 2s. Proved grow to nerf it is, yeah. Is that fair even though I'm on top of him? I'm just dead to air, I guess. Could have vanished. Hopefully he gets a repair, he doesn't. He has coil for pre. He gets a YOLO fear, but he gets death. I'm just dead because of that then. That sucks. Shouldn't have walked off there. I didn't think he was gonna switch the fear to priest on his own and get deathed on it. I thought he was gonna re-fear the dispel and then like coil or something. And then I was gonna go stun priest. Then he just deathed the fear and got CC'd, and then he just got to go me in line. I mean, it's fine. I just thought that's what you were gonna do, so I started walking back out. Whew. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, I need to change the keybinds back. Being too, not humble, what's the word? Ambitious. So that I could just change that. It's too integral to me. I can't have dance not be a mouse button. Bridge back. Accidentally kicked the rogue there. Change it on my feral too when I play it. Double DPS will be bad as Dragonfly? Yeah, I have no faith in them fixing stuff. It's the perma PV meta is by design. I'm gonna play Kata. I have no faith in retail anymore, finally. I've been finally rebroken permanently. I'll put up even with PvE at this point, because it's the same thing as what current arena is anyway. Not even the rogue nerf. I've been over this expansion since season 3. This season has only like doubled down on my hatred of this expansion. Just seems like we've had Boomkin be the best class in the game since season 2 for like a year straight. And Cyclone is the only good CC in the entire game. And every game is just some 10-minute mana game. Doesn't matter if it was Asa Arcane in season 1, or if it was like Fan and Ive spam Rogue in season 2, or if it was, you know, Outlaw last season, or if it was Outlaw or Asa this season. Every game is just some stare at details, not even actually playing Rogue. Like, I don't feel like I've actually been playing Rogue for like the last 2 years. I want to play something pre-Legion. I'm really excited for Kata. Because it's a video game where CC matters and interrupts matter, and you know. Nice. I just don't think War Within is going to fix that with the Conflict and Strife embellishment thing. No, I'm on Benediction Alliance. They would need to rework almost every single class in the game with a full-on PvP talent tree that's separated from PvE for them to ever fix this abomination of Mythic Plus class design. No, I haven't. I don't really ever watch Fiend. I'll maybe sometimes watch Grayson or something, but I don't watch Grayson as much now that he doesn't like play Arena. I miss the old Grayson. The flop RMD Grayson. Alt 6 block Grayson. I hate the new Grayson. The React Grayson. This priest is like stuck in the air and not coming down. Now they finally land. They were in the air like 20 seconds. I think I'm just dead. Defensive duel, Hellstone. Hate that DR fear. We had a kidney here. We just die. Can't mess up any ghosts. All of the disarm. It lit up, but didn't go off. Gets cheap shot in turtle. Just dead to air. I think double DPS is just 10 times worse than it used to be. This doesn't seem like I'm ever threatening an actual defensive CD, even with a full Fierce Sap with Blades up. They're like, maybe I'll just use this one little minor thing. I don't even think he needed to turtle there. He could have greeted for like another hour, you know? Try to cloak trap. Both on stun DR forever still. Dead. Not sure how we're not like healing more off the pets behind pillar, but I'm just sitting there staring at the stun DRs for 10 seconds while we're dying. We dotted healer, so I can't tap. No depth, so I can't go behind his evasion to disarm AR. Meld this holy fire, I guess. I get feared though. I'll van his van. Rope should come out the dots. I got a blind sap here. Angel form, I'll just duel it. Just to get a refear, hopefully with wall or something. Yeah, which Estes combat. Good DR cheap shot, it should be enough to kill. Okay. Time to dance. Priest has no fear for 15. Drop this, DK disarm. So I have do damage now. Blades can't even break Dark Pact anymore. Practicing for AWC? No. My team doesn't practice that much. We just play for fun. Like actually for fun. And it's just because the top 4 teams are just so dominant. There's like no point. There's never any like new talent. I think it would be very different if they killed 4-player rosters and made people actually specialize in things. Then there'd just be more players to pick. And prize pools would be less tiny. Like splitting a prize pool 4 ways kind of sucks. What's in 2 months? Kata's in a lot shorter than 2 months. Kata's in a couple weeks. No, I'm gonna play Kata a lot more than 2 months, I think. Hopefully. think you'd rather play Rogue Shadow Priest too, gotta. If you want to do double DPS, or Rogue Mage, or Rogue Hunter. The thing is, Arena is already really, really niche. And it's kind of clear that modern Arena is just not attracting new people with its horrible decisions. And it's not making old people happy with its new decisions. In Dragonflight, or who wins this lane? No, I don't have a passport. I want to eventually, but I just can't afford it. I've only traveled within the States. Waiting for a coil or something? A huge damn 140k of this. I think people have like 1.7 million health on TR. But you have to add in the 60k shadow of this. Look at this poor little 20k tier proc. That used to be like 60 to 80k. I actually do less damage than I did in season 3. I was trying on the TR a 50% Versa Kyrian Gorma build, but even with perforated and 50 Versa, I couldn't really get over 350 on the Kyrian. Maybe the guy you hit just had like no Versa or something, I don't know. But even then, playing around perforated is just garbagely clunky and impossible against anyone with their keyboard plugged in. They do less than half. DHs do 2.5 times more. But DHs didn't really get a nerf. Outlaw got a rotation spec changing level nerf. Or either you go greenskin and you just don't even play spam BTE anymore, or you have to build every time you get a proc now, since the procs are only 4 combo points. I mean, Asa got nerfed too. But I mean, Asa and Outlaw are still, even with the nerfs, going to be twice as good as Sub. His Sub is not viable right now. So they just want everyone to play DH and Windwalker. If you want to actually do damage, like, why would you play a Rogue? They gave DH 4 different CCs anyway. Like, who cares if you can cheap shot when you have multiple stuns and a silence and an incap? Well, not silence, but fear, I mean. Barrel can triple stun people just like a rogue and do way more damage doing it, and have more fun and more CC. How you doing, Caprice? It's just funny because like rogue scales so horribly with gear when it used to scale the best with gear. Like, I actually just, and it's funny because rogue is doing really well in PvE, and it just always feels like it's like 80% nerfed in PvP compared to what it is in PvE. But honestly, it feels like the game is bugged or something with the damage numbers. Assifire's not that great. It's like really niche into what matchup you're fighting. I mean, MM is already terrible. Just for cheesing noobs. Play BM and hold W. I mean, it can be okay on ladder, but you can watch how Assifier performs in a tournament when people don't just get flame striked on. Like, it'll catch people off guard stacking like one game and then they'll spread out. And then you're just squishy and, you know. You have like really, really high fake DPS where it looks like you're winning by 10 million damage on the scoreboard. But it doesn't always convert into what you want. No, I think it'll either still be Outlaw and you just have to build after your proc, or it'll be Greenskin Outlaw, or every single rogue will just go play DH instead. Pick one of those three. Because the few rogues you even see playing are only playing Rogue Boomy anyway, and DH Boomy is just better than Rogue Boomy. I mean, there also could be some rogue lock shenanigans too. Maybe Asa Affliction will be better than Asa Fire even. Emerald doesn't apply combat, so I can stop that. Overlap kicks. I have meld for resap. Somehow I didn't get the third sap. Gonna get cloned here so I don't get the kidney. I'm like 1 yard out of range to kick that clone because I don't have acrobatic strikes at sub. The sub can't afford it. I don't get the 8 yard range on all my attacks like Outlaw and Asa do. Yeah, I mean, he munched like 4 eviscerates with full dots at 10%. Kind of crazy. I think I'm only gonna do a couple more games, and then I'm gonna take a break and come back if I have threes. Today might just have to be a shorter day. Kind of just wanting to play my ult, but I really want 4-set on my ults. So I want to like actually play them when I can gear them and stuff. What's wrong? Not much. I just want to do some IRL stuff. I was making IRL plans real quick. I just wanted to go out. Do a couple errands, maybe go get some food. It's not as hyped today. The patch is kind of boring. And I don't think it's good for us in AWC. I mean, I guess it's good to maybe get Nozom off the bench and play some Affliction, but I just want to be in a better mood when I play. So I'm just gonna take a break and have a night out. And then tomorrow I'll have 4-set, and then I can have fun on Windwalker. and DH. I think we'll probably just play a lot of Rogue Lock. I was gonna say we could play Rogue Shadow Priest and do RPS. That would be really hype. But because Nozom actually is really, really good at Shadow Priest. But now that Warriors are coming back into the fray, and fuck that. SP into Warrior is miserable. It might just be some kind of affliction angle. I mean, even if you're Wiz, they get shit on by Red Warrior. It is one of the biggest counters in the entire game. I mean, against like ladder players, yeah. Top tournament teams, no. Mage Lock is not that dominant, or everyone would be playing it. It's like really obvious whatever the best comp is, and that's what almost 80% of everyone plays, and that's like Rogue Boomy and stuff right now, you know? There's like one team that like pulled out Mage Lock and EU when they were just desperate, and that was like, you know, Raikou and them, I think, and it did not work well for them. Yeah, they got second playing other comps. That's just one of like the 50 comps in their arsenal that they just pulled out as a Hail Mary. Like the move trying to play Asa. When they went to like Asa Boomy to try to mirror DH Boomy. No coil, so I have to risk Monk peeling me, but not playing OP Cloak. Wish I had it. No gouge for the Druid. It's after it in a sec. He gets back. I think I'm dead here. Nice fucking coil. Bruce trinket. Evasion 1, but Touch of Death can't be evasioned anyway. I think next game's my LG though. I mean, Rogue Windwalker is kind of just Waz's kryptonite, honestly, because they were losing to Houghton too. I mean, I'm happy Nozom's off the bench for sure. He was like really, really like the main part of our team in season 3, but and Joxy is really good, so it just sucks he doesn't have Dragon for Rogue Boomy, but I think Boomy is still going to be incredibly dominant. I think Waz is still by far the best rogue. Rogue Windwalker is kind of cheesy. It took Waz multiple cups to figure out how to beat Houghton, and then, you know, it went back to normal. F tier is not new. They've played Enhanced together for a lot. They played together in season 2 and 3. And Laros was on my team in season 1 as our 4th. A lot of teams on NA are playing it. Like Calvish and them whipped it out a couple times. Nick on Windwalker. Get of that. Unlucky. I'll just try to get these nullies off. Fuck the fly stun, I guess. Didn't mean to duel, but. Definitely 3 scatters, man. Just dead to literally air. Yeah, I gotta do some IRL errands and stuff, and maybe go get some food and just probably have a chill night. Maybe I'll come back with 3s in a couple hours if my team wants to play, but we'll see. Yeah, I guess I will see you guys tomorrow. May you have luck in the vaults, you know? Even though you won't need luck anymore now that we can all get 4 set and actually play the game tomorrow. But GG's.